So what employee should an electrician hire first? The first hire a small business makes is so important. You've got so little money and so little time that making the wrong hire can literally break your business. Usually, an electrician would hire one of 3 different roles for their business. They'd either hire an admin, a journeyman, or an apprentice. And each of those roles come with their own set of pros and cons. Here's the reality. Hiring isn't just about getting help. It's about fixing a specific broken part of your business. If you hire a helper when you really needed someone to answer the phone, you haven't solved the problem. You've just paid money to make your life harder. And let's start with the apprentice. Everyone treats this like the default first hire. It's what we all did coming up, so we assume that it's what we should do when we start out. Picture where you're at right now. You're maybe booked 3 weeks out, you're working hard, and the logic seems sound. You know, if I get a guy to hop in the van and help me out, I'll be faster, right? You think you're buying speed, but that's not what actually happened. You don't get double the output. You usually get about 75% of your normal output and increase your expenses $3,000 or more a month. Why? Because you aren't just working anymore. You're teaching, you're watching them out of the corner of your eye, you're stopping every 15 minutes to figure out the next thing for them to do, and you have added a direct expense to your payroll, but that person isn't bringing in any revenue themselves. But here's the hard truth. An apprentice is an expense, not a revenue generator. The business is still dependent on you to generate the work and be at all the jobs. If you're hiring because you're too busy and need help, an apprentice isn't the best hire. So if the cheap hire is actually a drain on your cash flow and your time, well, then who should you hire? It's probably the one person most electricians never even think about hiring until it's too late. And I'm talking about the admin. And this is the sanity hire. A survey of small business owners found that entrepreneurs spend 68% of their time tackling day-to-day tasks like admin, emails, putting out fires, and only 32% of their time on strategic growth or core revenue generating activities. Even worse, you're missing calls during the day because you're up in an attic or your hands are tied up in an electrical panel. But every time you send a call to voicemail, your conversion rate drops significantly. You paid for that lead, but you missed the chance to close it because you're too busy working to answer the phone. And that drives up your marketing costs. Your quotes take longer to get sent out, and your overall customer service level drops. Now, the admin is still not a revenue generating employee, but it gives you the highest leverage on your personal time. If you're spending all day running calls, you just don't have the time during the day to do admins. Hiring an admin solves all of these issues, and you can get someone for $20 to $28 an hour. Also, they can work remote, so you don't even have to get an office. And because you have someone on the phones all day, your customer service goes up, you get more reviews, and your marketing costs drop. Hiring a part-time admin or virtual assistant buys back your time. It's that simple. If you pay someone to take 10 hours of office work off your plate every week, that 10 hours you can put back into the field or working on your business. And this hire usually pays for itself instantly because it keeps you on the tools and ensures that you never miss a new lead. But what if you don't want to be on the tools anymore? What if you're more focused on working on your business? Then you don't need an admin, and you definitely don't need an apprentice. You need the only person in this list who can actually walk in the door and start printing money from day one, the journeyman. And this is your revenue generating hire. It's the only option that is truly a plug and play. Right now, you're stuck on the tools, just trying to keep up with the demand, which means you have zero time to actually work on the business. A journeyman is a revenue generating employee. They're the ones who are going to unlock your ability to make money while you sleep. If you're pricing your work correctly, a journeyman generates revenue the minute they step in the van. Unlike an apprentice, you don't have to hold their hand. You just give them their training, hand them a tablet, the keys, and they go out and make money immediately. If you're trying to scale your company and get yourself out of the van, you don't need a helper to hand you pliers. You need a clone that can run calls without you. That's the journeyman. So let's wrap this up with the simple decision framework. Stop guessing and look at your biggest problem problem right now. If your business is running smoothly, you have extra cash, and you want to build a technician for the future, well, then you can hire the apprentice. If you're drowning in paperwork, missing phone calls, and you never see your family because you're working all day and in the office until midnight, then hire the admin. And if you have consistent work and you need to build more revenue immediately so that you can eventually step back from the tools, hire the journeyman. But here's the catch. None of these hires work if you aren't charging the right price. If your hourly rate is too low, adding payroll will sink your business fast. You need to know exactly what to charge to cover that new employee and still make a profit. I put together a full breakdown on how to calculate your hourly rate the right way, so just click this video right here and I'll see you over there.